guys, it's Lizzie. So this video has been in the works for 22 years because it epitomizes my personality and my philosophy on relationships. And I know that this probably won't even apply to that many girls, but if you're similar to me at all, this will be extremely emotionally validating. And if you're different than me, maybe this will give you a new perspective and make you more assertive in situations like this. I think that there's this traditional thing, and not even just within Christian circles, just everywhere. Everyone has these presuppositions that the guy is supposed to make the first move, initiate the whole relationship, ask the girl out, start up any conversation where you tell each other how you feel. Like, that's the guy's job. So many people believe this, think this, and so many of my friends who are female will never text the guy first or just go up and start talking to a guy. And a lot of my friends, they think I'm crazy the amount of assertiveness I have when I'm interested in someone. My thing is that in relationships, you should be able to be the purest, truest version of yourself. And even starting off a relationship when you're getting to know someone, that also should be this emulation of who you are. And my personality takes initiative. For any of you Myers-Briggs people, I am an ESTJ, and I made an entire video talking about what my personality is. I'm gonna link it below. Growing up in school and then even through college, I have always been the person in the group project who takes over and delegates everything. I love leadership positions and planning events and organizing. That is how I flourish. Those are my strengths. In my friendships as well, I always want to be the person who's constantly reaching out to people, inviting them to things. This is just how I am with people. I am very outgoing. I love just going up to random people and starting up conversations, and I love getting to know strangers. I'm really good at talking to people who I've never met before and having a non-awkward conversation and just knowing how to field questions in a certain way to keep the conversation going. These are just things that come very, very intuitively to me. I've also been told by a lot of people that I can come across as very intimidating, and I've had situations in the past where a guy really liked me who I also liked. This is back in middle school, high school, and then years later I find out that the guy actually really liked me, but he was too scared to say anything. And at that time, I was still under this framework where as a female, I was not allowed to make the first move and to initiate a conversation and to tell someone how I feel. I just thought I wasn't allowed to do that. I feel like I have this really big picture perspective on relationships from my YouTube channel because I get so many messages from people. So many of you asking me for advice are so scared and you don't know what to do and you don't know how to talk to someone who you're interested in. And so my thing is that regardless of your gender, if you are someone who knows how to initiate conversations and is bold and not scared to go talk to someone, then be that person. There are just going to be so many missed opportunities. I'm gonna make a video really soon how to talk to a guy because I made a video how to talk to a girl, so that will be linked below depending on when you're watching this. But this video is mainly just to say that if you have a lot of friends who are scared to talk to guys and you're not, don't listen to them. Do what you want to do. Be who you are. I am never ever scared about coming on too strong because I'm a very intense person, a very, very emotionally intense person. I would rather something fizzle out really early on than pretend to be this docile, chill, cliche, feminine girl and then find out 6 months into talking to some guy that he actually hates my true personality. You know what I mean? I'd rather find out really early on that he hates my intensity and just cannot handle it and doesn't like my level of assertiveness. I want to find that out as soon as possible. So for me, if I'm gonna be the truest version of myself, I need to come on really strong and take initiative and reach out to someone. When I was younger, I kind of bought into this whole thing where you have to play hard to get and you kind of have to make it into a game and you can't just be very direct. And when I say very direct, I don't mean telling someone how you feel really early on. I don't do that. I think it's important to be indirect with being assertive. I mentioned this in my 13 signs an introvert likes you video. I think it was the most important point of the video. Just that when you're getting to know someone, how they feel about you is developing. Like, it's ambiguous starting off. And so when you're interested in someone, just go up and talk to them and treat them as a friend, and don't see it as you're trying to get a relationship out of them, but just view it as, oh, I really love talking to this person and we're gonna get to know each other, and that's all. And maybe it will develop into a relationship. So while it is important to be assertive and to be someone who reaches out to someone and invites them to things, you don't need to be so direct, like explicitly calling it a date, or, you know, 2 weeks in being like, I really, really like you. Like, no, you don't. You don't know this person. How you feel about them is also developing. And so what I mean by all of this is you don't need to have certainty about how the other person feels to start talking to them and getting to know them. When I'm interested in someone, I will invite them to a group activity, or we will be like spending time together in a platonic sense, even though we're both kind of interested in each other. You don't need to make it into a big deal, because at the beginning it should be really chill. But what I just think is really sad, and what happens a lot, is both people are too scared to talk to the other person. And so I think that if you happen to have a personality that's really good at talking to strangers, then use that and be that and go up and talk to someone who you are interested in. I want to share a story that kind of inspired this video. I wrote out this script in the middle of last year, but at the end of my senior year of college, and gosh, I hope this guy does not find this video. Not that it would be a huge surprise to him, but I was talking to this guy and the semester was finishing up, so after a certain point we were both gonna move to different states and never really interact with each other ever again. But I really, really like this guy. And to me, it wasn't like, oh, I want a relationship out of him. It's just, oh, I really want to get to know him. He seems like an incredible person. I wrote a really long blog post about this, and I'm gonna link it below. It's called The One Who Didn't Care. You guys may have already read it if you've been following my blog for a while. I knew that this guy would never just start talking to me. I just could tell, like, he wasn't that type of person. And so it was kind of like on me if I wanted to talk to him at all. And so I was like super persistent about like spending time with him and seeing him, and I came across as so obvious, and I didn't care. I was just myself, and it was the most freeing thing ever, because I got to be completely myself, because that's how I want to be in relationships, in situations like that. And because there was that deadline where after a certain point, like, I was moving back to Florida and we wouldn't be in the same place ever again, because it was almost like I have nothing to lose, I was completely myself. And it just makes me think, in every situation ever where I meet a guy and I'm interested, I should be like that. If you want to talk to someone, talk to them. Tell them that you want to see them. A lot of times, you know, we're taught to think, oh, he texted me back after an hour. How long should I wait to reply him? But no, it's not a game. He's just a person. If you're interested in someone, they're just a person. So just treat them like a person and reach out to them like how you would any friend who you're trying to get to know. You don't need to make it into a big deal. And I think that people, like, we're all so different, and it's already so difficult to decode how everyone is thinking and feeling, and a lot of times we don't even know how we are feeling. And so what you should do is just be transparent. If you want to reply someone right when they text you, immediately reply. If you just talk to someone and you want to see them again, then let them know. If someone is actually really, really interested in you, they're not going to just start seeing you as being so clingy and annoying. They're not going to start viewing you as being so intense. If they're really interested in you, they won't care. And so just be yourself, and if someone hates it and can't handle it and doesn't like it, it's better to figure that out really early on rather than going through some awful breakup like 6 months from now. If a relationship with someone is gonna work at all, you have to just start by being yourself and not trying to fit into some societal mold of who you're supposed to be starting off a relationship. I'm gonna link below the blog post I talked about. Go read it. I hope that it inspires you to be really impulsive and to take initiative in situations like this. And I will see you guys in my next video. I love you so much. Bye. I'm catching on to you. You steer me wrong. You do. I'm catching